Yo, what is up, guys? James Carter TV here to preview the 2014 NBA free agency period, which begins July 1st, 12 p.m. or a.m. Midnight, okay? It starts at midnight Eastern time. So for a lot of us, though, in the country, it's going to be June 30th, late at night, because not all of us are on the East Coast NBA, just so you know. So anyway, I'm going to talk about free agency as a whole and get into my top 10 free agents. Let's start with the top 10 free agents because maybe that's what you're here for. I think most of you are going to be here for that, and if you want more, stick around for the end of the video. Now, top 10 free agents. It appears on the surface to be a strong free agency class. In fact, this is what teams have been building up for, hoping for this free agency class. But the fact of the matter is this, a lot of the players on this list are going to be going right back to their teams. They're not even going to consider going to any other team. They're just waiting to get in the best fit and situation possible within their own teams. They're not looking elsewhere. They're just looking at their own teams, trying to fit, the salary cap and all that junk, trying to build superstar teams and all that ass junk. That's what's really going on with a lot of these free agents, and I'll talk about those free agents because I'm still going to put them on the list. But I expect a lot of these guys to stay within their own teams, unlike usually with these free agents. So, this is our number 10. We have Lance Stephenson of the Indiana Pacers, guard / forward. He can play the shooting guard. He can play the three. He can defend either. He can defend point guards. He's a good defender. He's an all-around defender. There's a reason why the Pacers value him. Not enough to resign him, though. I mean, will he stay? I'm not really sure right now. I think he knows he can get paid elsewhere. I'm pretty sure they know he can get paid elsewhere. So don't be surprised that Lance Stephenson is in a different jersey. Now, whether or not that's going to hurt the Pacers is undoubted to me. The Pacers will be hurt by this loss of Lance Stephenson. I know they have Evan Turner, but did you see Evan Turner during the Eastern Conference Finals? Because God knows I didn't. And I'm not sure if he plays good enough defense to fit into that team. They're a defensive team. That's what they are. Can Evan Turner do that? I'll bet against it, and I'll win every time. So Lance Stephenson, though, number 10, and there's more upside here. By the way, some honorable mentions that are not going to be here. You can just forget about it. Luol Deng is not going to be here, okay? He's 29 years old. That's not old. But the fact of the matter is this guy was playing 40 minutes every night in that tough Tom Thibodeau defensive system for the past 2-3 years now. I think he's worn down. I think he's about out. And I think a guy like Lance Stephenson and the next guy I'm about to talk about have more upside to their careers. And if you're telling me who would I rather have, I'd rather pay these two idiots before I pay Luol Deng. But it does depend on what team you are. If you're the Washington Wizards, maybe Luol Deng would be better than a Lance Stephenson because you need that veteran leadership. But even then, I'm still taking Lance Stephenson over Luol Deng. I'm still taking him over Chandler Parsons. I'm not a huge Chandler Parsons guy. I think he does a couple things really well. Not even really well, but well, and does everything else poorly. He can't play defense. There's a reason why the Rockets were one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA last season. There's a reason why Nicolas Batum was playing well in the Western NBA playoffs. There's a reason for all of this. And it's Chandler Parsons. So I'm not high on Chandler Parsons, and he's not on this top 10. Let's go on to number 9, though. I think that's pretty much it for honorable mentions. Number 9, Gordon Hayward of the Utah Jazz. Now, no one talks about Gordon Hayward. No one has talked about him since he went to Butler. But let me tell you, this guy really improved this season. I mean, he's a good all-around guard. People think, yeah, he just scores. He shoots threes. Actually, he's pretty poor three-point shooter. He only shoots about 30%. But it's his size. 6'8" at the shooting guard position if you put him there. And even 6'8" at the small forward position. That's pretty oversized as well. So he can play the guard. He can play the forward. He's going to get his rebounds and his assists. I mean, he averages about 5.5 assists and rebounds per game as well as the point. You're not just getting points from Gordon Hayward. Some of the people think, oh yeah, he's just a point scorer. No, he's not. He really does a lot more than that. And there's more upside there. He's another young kid. And I like young kids. If you could fit him in there to Washington, I'm pretty sure Washington would love to have him. Washington pick him up. Pretty sure Charlotte would love to have him. Say, hey, my kid Gilchrist, get out of the way because we'd rather have Gordon Hayward. I mean, that's what I would say. Gordon Hayward, number 9. I think he's restricted, though, so it'll be tough for a team to sign him, but Utah's grasp may not be that strong after signing Jabari Parker. Not signing drafted. Number 8, we have Dwyane Wade. That's right. Number 8 we have Dwyane Wade. Number 8, we have Dwyane Wade. So if you've been listening to me since the chronicle of the 2014 NBA Finals, you know what I think and what I believe. And that is Dwyane Wade is washed up. That he's done, that he's not completely done, but he will be done soon. Give it 2 years, Dwyane Wade will be done. I'm telling you, if he's not done now, give it 2 years, he'll be done. And I know Tim Duncan appeared to have been done, and then he, slimmed down and then was looking good again. Tim Duncan wasn't having anywhere near the injuries Dwyane Wade has had. And Tim Duncan, in 15 years of playing in the NBA, has not had the same type of issues Dwyane Wade has had the past 3 years. I mean, 15 years, 3 years, not even the same on the same level. Dwyane Wade, yes, I would still take him though over Lance Stephenson and Gordon Hayward, because I know Dwyane Wade can still be an integral part of a championship team, but he's not as good as the other ones, and I would take the other ones. If you were to replace Dwyane Wade with the other 7 players I have on top of this list, well, excluding 2 because they're on the same team. If you were to take Dwyane Wade and I replace him with 5 other guys that I'm going to have, 5 other non-Miami Heat players that I'm going to show on the rest of this list, the Miami Heat would have won more games in the regular season, in the playoffs, possibly the finals. All 5 of them. Let's get into it. Let's start with number 7. We have Greg Monroe of the Detroit Pistons. You're telling me that Miami Heat would not have loved to have Greg Monroe instead of Dwyane Wade? Greg Monroe played great. He could play the power forward. He could play the center. Luckily for him, they had Andre Drummond this season, so luckily they were able to put Greg Monroe at his natural power forward position. I would contest that is his natural position. He'd be better in that position because he can dominate more kids at that position. But if you want to put him at center, go ahead. Put him at center, he'll succeed. And he can still have room to improve. Now, he's a restricted free agent, so good luck getting him out of Detroit's hands and fingers. But they're cheap in Detroit. I don't know what Stan Van Gundy's trying to do, what he's going to do. So maybe he's going to let him go. And we'll see what happens with Greg Monroe. But he's number 7 on this list. Number 6, we have Eric Bledsoe of the Phoenix Suns. Point guard / shooting guard. He can do it both. He really showed improvement now that he left the shadow of Chris Paul in Los Angeles. He went to Phoenix. He played very well with Goran Dragic. Good backcourt duo. He wants a max contract. I don't think he's quite worth that, but he's pretty damn close. There's a lot more upside here. I don't think he's shown us everything he can do quite yet. Eric Bledsoe, I'm on with that. I'm a Los Angeles Laker fan. You're telling me if we got Eric Bledsoe, will we be a better team? Oh, absolutely. Let's go get him. And let's also go get number 5. Okay, number 5 on this list, Kyle Lowry of the Toronto Raptors. This guy broke out this season, led his team to a playoff berth. Let's make no doubt about it. He was the integral part of that team next to DeMar DeRozan. Let's give DeMar DeRozan his props as well. But it was mainly Kyle Lowry. He was the undisputed MVP of their playoff run and their playoff demise. But, that's another story for another day. Kyle Lowry. I'm a big fan of Kyle Lowry's game. He couldn't shoot coming out of college. He's not really mastered, but he's improved upon that jump shot greatly, and I think it's only going to continue to improve again. A young kid with some more upside there. I'm talking about upside like it's the damn draft. But so a lot of these, if you're young and you're a kid and you're a free agent, why not? It's kind of like drafting, right? Except you even have experience. Why not? A guy like Lance Stephenson, who I already mentioned, is 23 years old. There are kids in the draft that are 22 years old, like Shabazz Napier. So we're still getting a lot of potential here with Lance Stephenson. We're getting a lot of potential here from Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's been in the league. Let me slow it down. Kyle Lowry's actually been in the league for a while now. But still, Kyle Lowry, number 5 on this list. Dirk Nowitzki. Hold on one second, actually. Alright, sorry about that. Number 4 on this list, Dirk Nowitzki. Someone just got shot. Number 4 on this list, Dirk Nowitzki of the Dallas Mavericks. This is a very untalked about free agent for a reason, because he's going to come back. From everything I'm hearing, this guy's recruiting guys to Dallas. Why? Because he wants to come back. But he hasn't signed yet. He hasn't signed. He hasn't put his name on the dotted line. And until he does, he's a free agent. He's going to be on this list. Dirk Nowitzki on this list. I still think he's going to go to Dallas. You know, that's my ultimate inclination. Same goes with Dwyane Wade. I think he's going to stay in Miami. But he's still on the list. He's number 4. Former Finals MVP. Could, I mean, still compete. I mean, damn, his team is the only team that challenged the San Antonio Spurs. Period. They're the only team that challenged the San Antonio Spurs. Give him props for that, as well as Vince Carter for one hell of a 3-point buzzer-beating jumper. So, Dirk Nowitzki, number 4. Number 3 is Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh gets overlooked because he is said to be the 3rd best player on the Miami Heat. No, he's the 2nd. He's the 2nd best player on the Miami Heat. And he's improved since being in Miami, and he's not being used to his potential. Remember, Chris Bosh is the guy who made his living in the paint. He doesn't do that for Miami anymore. Now he's a spot-up 3-point shooter. Now he's added that part of his game. If you can also add his spot-up 3-point shooting and then bring him back in the paint sometimes and make him an integral part of your offense, Chris Bosh will easily go back to all-star form, 20 points per game, being an integral part of your playoff team. A lot of faith in Chris Bosh for me. I mean, hello, this guy gained a huge 3-point jumper. I fear this guy from the 3-point line. That's huge. As long as he hasn't forgotten how to, boom, bruise some people down low, he'll be fine, and he'll be great once again. Number 2, Carmelo Anthony of the New York Knicks. This is one guy who's actually leaving, because Chris Bosh is not leaving, Dirk Nowitzki isn't leaving, Dwyane Wade isn't leaving. Carmelo Anthony is leaving. He's gone from New York. If he comes back, it's because of one reason. Money, yeah. Carmelo Anthony, and I respect him for this, he's the only classic NBA player left out there who just wants the money. I mean, that's what he wants. So if he goes back for that, I can't blame him. Latrell Sprewell left the Minnesota Timberwolves because he wasn't getting enough money. You don't hear a lot about that in the NBA nowadays. No one ever says, hey, I want my money. And Carmelo wants his money, and the Knicks can pay him $30 million more than anyone else in the NBA. And he could just take that money. I think he's going to leave. I think he's going to go to Chicago. That's my inclination. I think the championships will go a little bit above the money, but he'll miss his money. He'll miss the spotlight, the New York spotlight. Lala Anthony will be upset because of this decision, but Carmelo, I think he's going to go to Chicago. Carmelo, Chicago. It kind of rhymes. Not really, but okay. So, number 1, I mean, this should be no surprise to you. It's me. I'm a free agent. Call me up. No, it's LeBron James. It's LeBron James. Oh, the second coming, the chosen one, the punk who cramped up in Game 1 of the NBA Finals and changed the shape of the NBA Finals. Let's be honest. The Heat were up by 7 points. The Spurs won Game 1, got momentum, lost Game 2, still were confident. Won Game 3, 4, 5, get out. You tell me if the Heat did not win Game 1, things would have been a little bit different, maybe. But let's be honest. I'll be critical of LeBron in this one video, and he's great. I mean, you already know how great this guy is. He'll go to a franchise and he'll, boom, flip you up to a playoff team. And if this guy really wants to win, and I'm gonna be crazy for this, and a lot of you guys want, but listen to me. If he really wants to win games, you know where he's gonna go? Atlanta. That's right, the Atlanta Hawks. Because you wanna know what the Atlanta Hawks can do? If the Atlanta Hawks trade Lou Williams for anything, for literally anything, they will be able to put the lineup that will follow. Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver, LeBron James, Paul Millsap, Al Horford. And how did the Spurs win the NBA championship? Oh, by having a full team? What would the Hawks have? Well, they wouldn't have a full team, but they would have one hell of a starting 5. You don't need superstars. You just need complementary players. You have a 3-point shooter in Kyle Korver. You have a all-around point guard in Jeff Teague. You have your inside men in Paul Millsap and Al Horford. Al Horford can rebound the ball very well. And a superstar in LeBron James, who could easily lead that crew to an NBA championship. All-around crew. Now, they would need to have a bench. I know you're going to say, where's the bench? They have Pero Anchik, who would be a good power forward center backup. And then from there, how do the Heat get a bench? Because idiots like Ray Allen, like Rashard Lewis, like Shane Battier, like Mike Miller will take pennies to go play with LeBron. Same will go for if he goes to Atlanta. That is an all-star, absolutely magnificent, all-around team. You don't need superstar A, B, C, D. You just need an all-around team. And that starting five, T, Korver, LeBron, Millsap, and Horford, would be an all-around squad. All of those guys giving you, well, Teague will give you, even with that lineup, he'll give you over 17. Millsap will give you over 17. Well, actually, he may have to go back to about 16. Horford will give you 18. Korver will give you a good 12. And then you build your bench. LeBron will give you 27. I mean, this is an opportunity. He's not going to do it. Now, he's not going to do it. And this is why I don't know. He's not going to do it because he wants to go to a big market. Yeah. He doesn't want to think about, hey, if I go to Atlanta, there's something there. He doesn't want to think like that. He's going to stay in Miami. Bosh is going to stay in Miami. Wade's going to stay in Miami. Kyle Lowry's going to join them. And they're going to be in the exact same position. Why? Because why did the Heat lose? Okay, first of all, because they did have a full team. That's number one. Number two, this is the recurring theme with the Miami Heat. You guys are missing a point guard. I'll tell you what you miss. You're missing this guy. Boom. A beat-up center who will dominate in the paint. Chris Bosh is not a center. He's not. He's a power forward playing the center position because they don't have anyone else. Get a damn center. Screw Kyle Lowry. There wasn't a center on this list. I don't care. No, there was. Greg Monroe. Get Greg Monroe. I know he's restricted, but if Greg Monroe on the Miami Heat, they're not going to be stopped. In the NBA, when it comes to winning an NBA championship, the point guard position is an overrated position. Tony Parker is the best point guard to win an NBA championship in the past 15 years. And I'm not even joking when I say that. Look at the other guys. Derek Fisher, Chauncey Billups. Who else has won a championship? Jason Kidd with the Dallas Mavericks? Rajon Rondo, rookie Rondo? Point guards are overrated. They don't win NBA championships. Centers, on the other hand, win NBA championships. And when you have a good center, not a great center. When you have a great center, not a great center, but a good center, a contributing center who plays a certain role for your team. Now that's how you win a championship. Ben Wallace, Andrew Bynum, the big, tough, mean centers, Kendrick Perkins, Shaquille O'Neal, 4 times. Get you that center, and it'll be more valuable than a point guard ever would. You won 2 championships in Mario Chalmers. You can win more. I mean, get you that center, and then you'll be fine. Anyway, guys, James Carter TV. What do you think about free agency? All that stuff I just blurted out. Teams to look out for in free agency, by the way. Dallas Mavericks have cap room. Atlanta Hawks have cap room. Look out for the Charlotte Hornets, who can make... I said Bobcats earlier, didn't I? Look out for the Charlotte Hornets, who want to add another piece. And if they do, they're going to flutter up there. I'm telling you, Charlotte's building something. Look out for Charlotte. Look out for Washington. Teams are arriving in the East, it appears. But it always appears, and they still stink. James Carter TV, until next time, I'm out. I will be covering free agency throughout. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I'm out. Peace.